If you're anything like me, then you might have been a bit of a natural skincare journey for the last couple of years. It started with natural deodorant. Now I'm looking into all of the natural skincare that I can do with my own skin, my face skin, which is lovely. And it's really where I first came across this brand, the Glowcery. There's a lot of brands out there that are touting natural skincare. But what's really interesting about the Glowcery is that they are pushing nutrient dense skincare instead. So yes, it is all natural, but their approach to it is essentially the same approach that people have with superfoods and vitamins that you might take. Fundamentally, our skin is an organ, and therefore the superfoods that we're putting on it can have a massive impact in how our skin is thriving. When I chatted to Roshanne, we went into a lot of detail about what nutrient-dense skincare really means and what that means for their products. It was a really interesting chat, and if you are someone that is looking to get more into your skincare or looking just for alternative, more natural solutions to skincare compared to all of the very synthetic solutions that are out there, this is a really good listen, and it's worth jumping into a bit more detail into what natural skincare really means for you. Now, before we kick things off, I would love if you could hit subscribe and support our channel. The more followers that we get, the more subscribers that we get, the more we're able to support these amazing founders building amazing things. So following us is a big show of support for all of the founders that we're featuring on the show. With that all said, let's get into the episode.
We don't eat junk food every day and expect to be healthy, but these big beauty brands are using greenwashing to have you believe that their ultra-processed products are healthy versions of skincare, and that's just not the case at all.
Welcome to Discover Startups, a show that shines a light on early-stage founders and the ideas behind the businesses that they're building. I'm Georgie Brown. On today's show, we're talking to Roshanne, founder of the Glowcery, a nutrient-dense skincare brand built on one simple idea. You deserve skincare that empowers you to glow with confidence without compromise. Head to the stores and the products that you see on the shelves might look premium, but flip the bottle and it's a different story. Microplastics, petrochemicals, silicons, fillers. Brands talk about glow, radiance, and results, but they rely on cheap additives that your skin can't actually use. Roshanne learned this the hard way. Working in a high-stress environment of criminal law, her skin took a hit. Acne, hyperpigmentation, inflammation, but even after overhauling her diet, her skin didn't seem to be improving. The reason? Well, it wasn't her skin, it was the products. So she took it upon herself to solve the problem, retraining as a natural skincare formulator to build the Glowcery. Nutrient-dense, plant-based, cold-pressed formulas that treat skincare like nutrition, feeding the skin with real actives, not filler. Think of it as swapping fast food for whole foods, but for your face. Since launching in 2020, the Glowcery has become one of the UK's most trusted clean beauty brands, known for ingredient integrity, results-driven formulas, and a total rejection of the beauty industry's junk food mindset. Roshanne, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, Georgie. I'm really excited to talk to you today.
I have been so looking forward to having this conversation. I feel like as winter is upon us right now, I'm thinking so much more about skincare. My skin is fighting through this.
You look
winter, so I'm really looking
glowing.
forward.
You look glowing.
That's all that good lighting. Now, Roshanne, I guess for anyone that doesn't know about you, doesn't know about the Glowcery, could you tell us a little bit more about who you are and what the Glowcery is in your own words?
Yeah, sure. So, hi guys, I'm Roshanne. I'm a formulator, skin expert, and founder of the Glowcery. And why I started the brand, I really just saw an opportunity to make skincare a lot more nutrient dense and healthier for not only your skin and for your planet. For me, the Glowcery really is the antidote to the ultra processed beauty world, a world that is obsessed with cheap fillers, greenwashing, which we'll get into, I suppose, more as we talk throughout this episode. And we really just empower you to feel more confident in your natural skin. And we do that by really using high quality ingredients that are backed by nutritional science. So it's essentially like eating a clean diet for your skin.
What you're doing is really phenomenal. I think when I came across the product in the first place, I was really impressed by this approach. It's not something I'd seen before, but when I was reading through your website and learning more about the products, it's something that really struck a chord. I think as we're all making efforts to eat more cleanly, but I hadn't really thought about how that impacts my skin. Obviously, you've been on a big career change as part of this. You went from law into skincare formulation and building a brand. What led to that change? Can you talk us through how your skin journey led to this product?
Absolutely. So it was after a few years of working in criminal and human rights law. And I suppose the stress of what we now come to understand as burnout just showed up in my body and my skin. It showed up in my body with just a tenseness and an exhaustion, and it showed up in my skin as hyperpigmentation. You know, when you just look at your skin, it just looks really lackluster. That's exactly what my skin looked like. And as a last resort, I turned to natural and holistic remedies, which really did improve my overall well-being. I had more energy. I felt like I was getting back to my normal bubbly self. But what I was struggling to find was those really high quality nutrient dense ingredients that not only were effective, but also looked quite nice. You want your skincare to have a visual appeal on your vanity cabinet. You don't want it to look like what when I launched the Glowcery, it was very either white and black or millennial pink, and that really didn't speak to me as a customer. So I wanted to find and create beauty products that not only worked effectively but looked good as well. And I find that the Glowcery really is a great match of the two.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, for anyone that's listening now, go have a look at the Glowcery's website. You'll see what Roshanne means by the design that's gone into this work, not just the formulation of the products. They really look beautiful and like
Thank you.
something that you want to be proud of having on your shelf that you can open up
Exactly.
and show to all of your friends. The people that are listening that aren't familiar with this world of nutrient dense skincare or just the improvements that are being made by you in skincare in general, what's one thing that you want them to walk away with when they use the Glowcery's products for the first time?
Confidence for sure. I think even on like a personal journey, I've my confidence has grown so much with the brand. So I would love for a customer, for example, a girl that can't leave the house without putting on foundation. And then she comes to the Glowcery. She uses our Clean Greens face oil, which is like a green juice for your skin, very good at restoring your skin's natural glow. And she feels more confident to leave the house with a bare face. And I think when you feel good, you show up as the best version of yourself. And that energy is then reverberates throughout the atmosphere, and then other people are inspired by your confidence. So I just think it has a positive compounding effect. Confidence is 100% what I want people to feel like when they interact with the Glowcery and really start enjoying the products.
I absolutely love that. I guess it'd be good for us to talk about the skincare industry as a whole for a second. For people that aren't so familiar with the problems that are out there, when you started doing this, when you started exploring obviously your own skincare journey and then building the Glowcery, what did you see as the biggest problems in the beauty and skincare space, especially for consumers that might have sensitive skin or hyperpigmentation and felt that the big brands were not being that honest with them?
Oh, I could honestly talk about this subject all day. It's just so much. There's so many issues. But I would say the main one for me is that these big brands are just using ultra processed ingredients. At the Glowcery, we call them the junk food four. So you've got your microplastics, your parabens, your petrochemicals, and your silicones, which are essentially like the junk food ingredients that we have in your diet. They offer your skin zero nutritional benefit. Same way a fast food takeaway might satisfy your hunger, but that nutritional density isn't there. And for customers, not only can it have a detrimental effect on your skin's health, it also impacts the planet, which then has a negative impact on everyone else. So essentially, these beauty products are feeding you a junk food diet. We don't eat junk food every day and expect to be healthy, but these big beauty brands are using greenwashing to have you believe that their ultra processed products are healthy versions of skincare. And that's just not the case at all. And I think it's just very disingenuous. As a customer, I've been duped by it before. As someone who really cares about what they eat, how their impact on the environment, it can feel very, I suppose, disappointing, but I want to say visceral rage that you've just spent all this money on these products that offer you no benefit. And it's just going back into that same big beauty cog, then feeds on your insecurities to sell you these rubbish products. And then that just cycles just keeps on going. So you think, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Why isn't my skin getting better? But it's the products. It's the products and the lack of quality ingredients that I use.
It's really interesting when you talk about that because I think when most people turn over the back of a skincare product, it's filled with a list of chemicals and no one has
Yeah.
any idea what any of them are doing. I think the marketing in the skincare industry has done a good job of trying to add meaning to some chemicals
Yes.
that might be in things to help people navigate it. But for things like these petrochemicals, like these silicones, what effect are they having on people's skin?
on your skin, they can lead to sensitivity, irritation, pigmentation. They can lead to signs of premature aging. But inside your body, parabens can actually disrupt your hormones. So that can have
Oh, wow.
detrimental effects on our female reproductive system. Sometimes they can lead to fatal diseases. So it's not just, I
Wow.
suppose, the physical impact on it. It can have a detrimental effect on your health. So I always think that in the skincare and beauty industry, the same way you have the trafficking system in food, you should have it in skincare. So you have autonomy of choice. You can say, oh, okay, so this product actually does have more petrochemicals or parabens. I actually don't want to choose that for myself today. I'm going to go with a product that's maybe on the green scale. But you don't know that. And unless you're well versed in reading the ingredients list and doing your research, you don't really have a choice in what you're picking because you're buying into the marketing and I suppose the celebrity beauty campaigns. So yeah, they're not that great for you. They're not that great for you at all.
It's really interesting to hear that, and just to think about the wider physical effects of these ingredients that they're having on people's bodies. I think hormonal health is something that
Yeah,
is very in the news at the moment. So people, I think there's probably quite a lot of people out there that aren't thinking about the moisturizers that they're using or the toners and how they're affecting their hormonal health.
perfume's
I think
really bad for you. It's a lot. It's everywhere.
yeah. I think I personally have been on a journey with like natural deodorant and removing aluminium from my deodorant. I think
Same.
that's been very like in the news in the last few years with the likes of Wild and Fussy
Hmm.
sort of coming to the surface,
Exactly.
which has been fantastic. And I always say to people, like, it's not just the best natural deodorant I've ever used, they're the best deodorants I've ever used. Like, when you take away all
Same.
of that crap. So it's great to hear that you're sort of forging ahead to be that solution in the skincare space of providing a solution that removes all of these nasty hormonal disruptors
Yes,
from our skincare.
exactly.
On that, it'd be great to get your thoughts on why you feel that a nutrient forward skincare brand is what we need right now. What's been changing in the consumer mindset and in the market that's led to it being the perfect time for the Glowcery to come to market?
Yeah, I think now is a perfect time. We're seeing a shift in consumers wanting a convergence of beauty and wellness. It's not so much now they're just looking at superficial quick fixes. They want products that are not only going to make them look better, but they want the products to make them feel better as well. So I believe it was a study by McKinsey that showed that there is this real convergence on the beauty and wellness industry. So people are really looking for those functional products that they can add into their beauty routine. And also, I believe there's a change, I think it's post-COVID now, that people are looking for more longevity with their skincare. It's not so much the anti-aging that we've been sold for decades. It's more so the healthy aging. What can I do to keep my skin at its healthiest level rather than looking for products that are going to act as a treatment to the damage that has already been caused? So I feel like with those consumer shifts in behavior, habits, people are looking for more nutritious food, nutritious lifestyle, nutritious skincare products. The Glowcery really does fit really seamlessly into that change in behavior.
And you talk, obviously, your brand, that you talk about nutrient dense.
Yeah.
That's what the language that you use to describe your products. There's many other brands out there that might talk about natural or clean.
Hmm.
What is that difference for you? And what does that difference really mean when consumers are looking at it?
Yeah, so when I was coming up with how we were really going to start marketing the brand, I think for me, clean, again, I think it's just been hijacked by a lot of those big beauty brands. So clean really just means not using harmful ingredients. And I didn't think it went far enough to describe what we're doing at the Glowcery. And then again with natural brands can still use ultra processed ingredients. So in the industry that you can have a cold pressed oil and a refined oil. And a cold pressed oil, as the name suggests, is processed with little to no heat and it retains the maximum amount of nutrients in that fruit or vegetable oil. But natural brands do use the refined version of that because they're easy to formulate. They're odorless, they're usually colorless, so they fit seamlessly into that luxury appeal where people just want everything to look very similar. So again, when I thought about that, I thought, no, we're not really a natural brand. We really do focus on high quality functional ingredients, feeding your skin the vitamins, antioxidants, and superfoods that it needs to have a functional transformative benefit on the skin. And I suppose my marketing head was thinking the natural skincare industry is just oversaturated. You can't just come out and call yourself a natural skincare brand. So I do think the fact that we focus on nutrient dense is a very unique point that I haven't seen much in the UK market. So yeah, that was, I suppose, the whole idea behind the nutrient dense marketing.
I Well, I have to agree with you. I think when I saw the nutrients dense and then I went on your website, I looked at your products, I looked at the way you market them, it feels more like I've walked into like a traditional greengrocers versus a
Yes,
supermarket,
I love
and
that.
I love it. I guess to now talk a little bit more about the products themselves. Could you talk us through the product range that you have, what
Mhm.
they are, what they do, and sort of your ethos around formulating them?
Yeah. So we have two face oils. We have our clean green superfood face oil, which I have here. So this is our clean
Oh,
green superfood face oil. This is our best-selling cult product, best facial oil in the Women's Health Beauty Awards. As I mentioned earlier, it's like a green juice for your skin. Really helps to restore your skin's natural glow and is perfect for hormonal oily skin types. And then we have our tomato tonic fragrance-free oil, which is more for sensitive skin. So if you find that your skin feels a bit tight, can feel a bit hot when you're using products with natural fragrance in it, like essential oils, this is perfect for calming down that redness. We also then have a blue dew fruit enzyme cleanser, which is an oil to milk cleanser, and it harnesses papaya and pineapple enzymes to gently exfoliate and brighten the skin. And then we have two body care products, Cocoa Cloud Whipped Body Butter, which is great for soothing eczema and dry skin types. Our Golden Nectar Body Oil, which is really silky for the skin. It's very great if it gives you that post-holiday glow. I love it, especially after the shower. It helps to lock in long-lasting moisture. And then we're bringing back our candle for the season. It's called Recharge, and it harnesses rose geranium, lemongrass, and patchouli essential oils in there to help you de-stress. So the idea behind all of the products is that they're really intentional and that they have skincare benefits, but also well-being benefits with the essential oils that we use and the sensory feel of the ingredients. And when I formulate, I always start with what do I want the end result to be. So with clean greens, my skin at the time was extremely lackluster, extremely dull, prone to breakout. So I wanted essentially a green bottle that I just filled with vegetables that are high in chlorophyll. So you've got broccoli in there, you've got avocado, green tea, you've got tea tree, and then you kind of have to play Tetris to make sure that the oils all balance together. They create this perfect texture. They lock in the moisture. So it's kind of like chemistry science experiment.
that makes a lot of sense. I think it's really interesting to hear how those ingredients all come together to produce such interesting products. So since launching the brand, how have you been balancing sort of the results that you've been getting with making sure that the ingredients are staying pure and sustainable?
Yeah, I suppose it's a really fine balancing act because there's been so many ingredients that I would like to use in the products. But when I do my research, I think that doesn't really align with what we're doing. For example, there's a new product that we're launching next year. And one of the ingredients that I wanted to use was orange blossom water. Great for the skin, smells delicious, but it takes thousands of small flowers to make a litre of the product. And I just thought the impact and the resources, the water, energy needed on the earth, that doesn't really align with what we're trying to do here at the Glowcery. So I looked for a different ingredient that fit more in line with our Glowcery guarantee. So it is a fine balance. And sometimes it can feel a bit disheartening when you come across a product that you know has a good skin benefit, but I would rather find something additional than rather increase our impact on the planet, because I think there's enough beauty brands doing that already. I don't want the Glowcery to be doing that either.
That's really admirable of you guys to that you're able to balance that product development with the overall impact. As you say, I think there's a lot of companies out there would say, well, it doesn't, we're not that
We'll
fussed
do it.
about the water impacts and all of that. Like it's good for the skin, we'll do it. But it's really great to hear how holistically you guys think about the product development, how it impacts the customer and the world that we live in. I think it's something that hopefully a lot of listeners that are also working in developing physical products can take away. It's about thinking about the entire manufacturing process, not just
Yeah.
the end result, which is really exciting. As we look ahead, so the Glowcery, you guys have had a wild few years since you've been up and running. You launched in 2020. What is next for the Glowcery? What are the new product lines that you guys have got coming out? Where are you guys headed next?
Oh, I'm so excited for 2026. It's been a long time coming. We haven't launched new products since 2022, I think. So we're branching into two new sectors, which I'm really excited about. And again, what we do at the Glossy, they're going to be intentional, functional, really innovative. So I'm excited to get those out because It's taken such a long time. I underestimated just how labor intensive launching into a new category could be. I wanted these launched last year and it just hasn't worked out like that. So I'm really, really excited. And I'll be doing the launch in public as well. So I'm very excited to be taking everyone on that journey with me. And then we're also looking to start involving our community a lot more with seasonal events. So
Okay, cool.
we've got a lot planned, which is very, very exciting.
It sounds like a lot of work, obviously, but lots for us all to get our teeth into,
Yes.
which is really exciting. Okay, fantastic. And then for anyone that's been listening to this today and is sat there and they're going, I'm tired of my normal skincare and all the fake promises that they've been giving me, what is the best first step for someone to take with the Glowcery? What product would you recommend that they try first and where can they go to get it?
I would say our Clean Greens face oil because that is our leading product. But I would say in terms of skincare, cleanser. You have to make sure you're using a good cleanser. So we have our Blue Dew Fruit Enzyme Cleanser, as I mentioned, great for all skin types, including sensitive skin. It's going to gently exfoliate, brighten the skin, and make sure that your skin is cleansed and prepped and ready for the next stage of your skincare routine. If you're not using a proper cleanser, I'm sorry, those skincare products, no matter if they're clean, from Big Beauty, whatever, are not going to be working as effectively as they should because your skin's going to have a layer of debris, grime on it. So you want to be making sure that you're using an effective cleanser. So I would
Mm.
100% start there.
That's really great advice to anyone that's listening that is maybe shortcutting their cleanser, maybe even sticking to soap.
Don't
Oh,
do
God
it.
forbid.
60 seconds minimum. You've got to be working that cleanser in all around to get that dirt and debris off.
The way I wash my face this evening, I'm going to be so conscious of it this evening,
Take your
having that
time.
recorded.
Take your time.
It's all going to be great. And where can people go to follow you, to follow along with this journey as you're doing this new launch and as the business continues to grow?
I would say our main platform is Instagram. So it's at the Glowcery Shop, TheGlowceryShop. And then it's the same on TikTok as well, but we are more predominantly on Instagram. So follow the journey there, guys. It's going to be exciting. I'm excited. And I know members of our community are as well because they've been crying out for a new product.
Shan, this has been so much fun, this conversation. Now, I like to end every episode that we're recording by asking the founders that we're speaking to recommend another startup that they think we should check out, they think the listeners should check out. So that's my question to you. What is another startup that you think that we should spotlight next on the show and why?
So a startup that I want to recommend is Jam Can Juice and their founder, Olivia. I love how she's combining her Jamaican heritage, culture, and ancestral healing into modern day wellness. She's using popular Jamaican ingredients such as sorrel, starfruit, and CBD and combining those into juice shots. Olivia also has a legal background as well, similar to I do. So I'm glad that she's now decided to take the non-traditional route to success. And I feel that she's building a company that's really based on community, authenticity, and nourishment, and bringing some fun to a wellness industry that can sometimes be quite serious. So I would definitely recommend everyone listening to go check out Jam Cam Juice and their founder, Olivia.
Fantastic. Well, I will do my absolute best to reach out to them and get them on the show. That would be a really exciting episode to have as well. And thank you for that recommendation.
You're
Roshanne,
welcome.
it has been so great chatting today. I wish you guys all the best with the Glowcery and I can't wait to follow along and see everything you've got to launch in 2026 and beyond.
Thank you, Georgie. I've really, really loved talking with you today. Loved it.
It's been a pleasure. If you enjoyed this episode, you can support Roshanne and what she's building by checking out the links in the show notes, following her on social media, and sharing this episode with a friend. And if you like what I'm bringing you from Discover Startups, I'd love if you could take a second to subscribe to the channel or sign up to our newsletter. That way you'll be the first to know when a new episode drops. That's all for now, but I'll be back soon with another founder, another story, and another startup for you to discover. I hope you will have a great day.